It's no surprise that some challenges stand out from others in terms of difficulty. You have your easy runs such as a rune level 1, deathless, and even hitless. But one run stands out as truly difficult, perhaps even impossible: the Blasphemous run. Coveted amongst the community as a true test of one's patience, skill, and perseverance, it stands the test of time as a properly insurmountable challenge. Well, today I wanted to see if it is possible to beat Elden Ring by only using the Blasphemous Blade. Could it be done, or was this another futile attempt at completing the impossible? I began the run as a samurai as I would need any help I could get, and beginning with the katana would help greatly in the short term. Unfortunately, it didn't help in preventing me from putting on my best Liam Payne impression. Waking up in Limgrave, my goal was to immediately begin working on getting to Rykard so I could acquire his remembrance for the Blasphemous Blade. Sitting at a grace, I was visited by a representative for the Honda dealership who offered me an Accord. I politely declined, offering to take a much more earth-friendly option of Torrent, as I was looking to help offset Taylor Swift's carbon footprint. Now, as many of you know, the Blasphemous Blade is well known for being one of the most difficult and underpowered weapons in the game, so I would need as much healing as possible. Grabbing a tear and the physic from the Third Church, I also grabbed the charged attack tier and talisman before heading into Fort Height for one half of the Dectus medallion. Luckily for me, my many runs prepared me for this route and things were going swimmingly. Taking the warp into Dragon Barrow, I went ahead and showed this Knight's Calf how to make this simple jump over the gap, but sadly he didn't quite make it. Thankfully, he did make sure to pay me for my time spent, and that is greatly appreciated. Still in Dragon Barrow, I grabbed the second half of the Dectus medallion and Radagon's crusty ball before humanly euthanizing Grail with a flail for 100,000 juicy runes. Using them to level up as I would most definitely need it, I was then able to grab the Somber 9 and 8 before returning to Stormhill. Once in Stormhill, I skillfully avoided the troll for the strength knot tier before using my hundreds of hours of experience to quickly dispatch the knight for Golden Vow. One of the most difficult parts of this run was killing Alexander, both physically and mentally. I'm so sorry, Alex, but I needed that talisman. With that, I headed into Liurnia where I would have to collect Raya's necklace from Bogart. Using an extremely powerful strategy only the most knowledgeable players knew, if not executed correctly, things could go extremely wrong. Luckily, I was able to succeed and give Raya her necklace for later. Using the two halves of the Dectus lift to enter Altus, I took Raya's hand into Volcano Manor and spoke to Tanith for the drawing room key. Making my way through the hidden wall and into the secret tunnel, I wound up on the other side and in Tanith's secret BDSM town. Seriously, why are all the old men chained up like that? And is there an application for this service? Asking for a friend. While I was here, I grabbed a Somber 6 and set. No, I'm just kidding, it was a Somber 5. Before entering the next wall of the run. Now, this strategy is one that I've developed as a means to more easily dispatch the Godskin Noble that was guarding my pathway. Using my secret blend of Cosby juice, I was able to put the Noble to sleep with little effort. Luckily, the power of my katana was enough to ward off the evil spirit, and I was able to dispatch the Noble, allowing me access to the rest of the manor. Sleep! Alright, he's sleeping. Oh, what the fuck is... Dude, what? Hello? How did he do that? Why did... Hello? He's cheating, man. He's cheating. Not fair. Alright, whatever. There we go. Godskin Noble has been defeated. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my palms are already sweating. Making it up to Richard, Elden Ring actually provides a very useful weapon, the Serpent Hunter, so as to have a fighting chance against this monster. Equipped with a trusty shield, I had to lock in so as to not fall short. Even with such stakes on the line, I had to play absolutely perfectly or else it might have been GG's. This fight did teach me to not get too complacent, as I did have an extremely close call that really did scare me. Oh my god. Thankfully, I was able to clutch up, and with it, Rykard's remembrance was now mine. Skill him. Oh my god, I got hit by the freaking explosion geyser thing. Lord have mercy. Alright, there we go. Exchanging it for the Blasphemous Blade, I was able to get it to +6 before returning to Caelid. Now, if I wanted any chance of success, I would need all the damage I could find. First, I made sure to take out the Erdtree avatar for the Flame Shroud and Cracked tier, and second, I traveled behind Fort Gale for Flame Grammy Strength. Still in need of a second Grey Rune, I decided to venture into Stormville to fight Margit and later Godric. It was now of all moments that I really needed to lock in and play at the best of my ability. After a long, arduous journey of acquiring this weapon, let's see just how strong this thing really is. I'm worried. Margit is a pretty difficult boss. He's no tough cookie to crack. I mean, the damage, honestly, it's okay. I think it could be better. I don't know. I feel like I mean, I feel like it should have been better at this point. No, like, am I crazy to think that? I mean, like, look at that. That is, really tough. But you know what? We were at least able to get through it. But, whew. All right, let's make sure to buff up again. Very important that we do. We gotta get as much possible damage out of this thing as we can, because I mean, it's a little lackluster, I'm not gonna lie. But we'll see on Godric. Obviously, Godric is a much more difficult boss than Margit is. So, you know, he's a remembrance boss. You know, arguably one of the hardest bosses in the game, even. So we'll have to see what this guy's actually like. Oops. See? Normally I'm used to him only doing it once. I'm surprised he could do it a second time, to be honest with you. It seems that they hotfixed him, I don't know. Normally I think he always just does one. This is new. I've never seen this before. I guess he's... Huh. I guess he's cutting his hand off? That's kind of crazy. Whoa! Dude, he's a dragon now. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Massive stagger. Alright, this might kill, actually. Oh. Alright, that was pretty clean, I can't lie. The attacks are really hard to dodge. They really are, honestly. Acquiring my second Grey Room meant it was time to venture into the scariest part of the game, the capital, which meant I would have to prepare for the daunting journey ahead. Stopping in the Lux Ruins to deal with arguably the hardest boss of this run, Gillica, I managed to succeed and gain access to the Ritual Sword Talisman for 10% damage at full HP. Now, I don't know how often I would be at full HP, but I would definitely need that damage regardless. With Morgott standing between me and the mountaintops, I knew I had no other choice but to get Margit shackled. Thankfully, it seems Patches had disappeared and I got his bell bearing for free. Unfortunately, my walk into the capital wasn't free and the entrance was guarded by a draconic tree sentinel. It was clear that they were testing me to see if I could even get into the capital, let alone finish this run. Alright, kabooey! You know what? I mean, that's fine. Nice. Oh, what? Where did that come from? Bro, where did that lightning come from? This shit was out of nowhere. Yeah. Oh, you're still alive. Yeah. Alright. There we go. You know, I'm actually surprised that went as well as it did. I'm not gonna lie. I was shocked, to be honest. It seems the power of Richard engrossed me as I was able to defeat the horse girl and with it gain access to Lane Dell. Now watch this skip. Alright, check this out. Yeah! Oh, I'm dead. Killing yet another sentient tree for a Lord's Rune, I then grabbed the most important talisman of this run, Ritual Shield, for a staggering 30% increase to our resistances at full HP, before going to fight Godfrey. I had a Vine account. I remember King Batch? Yeah, King Batch. Apparently he followed me, question mark, somehow? I don't know. I swear to God, it was his account. Like, it said King Batch followed you, and I was like, okay, it's some fake account. And I went to go look at it, and it was just his Vine. I was like, wait, what? And like, it was everything that he posted. I was like, okay, I'm confused. He missed! See, look, that is the strength, or should I say, the weakness of the Blasphemous Blade. I mean, it is just, it can't even use its Ash of War properly. It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest with you. I mean, crazy to me that actually missed. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't have. Roll. Come on. One more hit. Yeah. Boom. There we go. All right. It was close. That was a weaker run, dare I say. We could have seen pretty bad things. And I'm gonna be talking about Vine in the video. Good day, Morgott. I am come to kill you. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit worried about this guy. I'm scared. What if... I feel like Morgoth is actually gonna be difficult, so we gotta boom him with one of these. Just to guarantee that we can actually defeat this boss. Whew, okay. Hold on, we gotta run away from this. Because if he blows up and kills us, that might be GG's. Ooh, look at that. I mean, look at all that damage, bro. I mean, that was half my health bar. I mean, it's actually insane. Alright, what is bro doing? Yo, I'm over here, dog. Yeah! Oh, that's an explosion. Hit him right in the butt. Oh, that's awkward. Oh, shit. Okay, I actually thought I was going to stagger him. I'm not going to. From far away. He missed. I missed. Not he. Ow. Oh, God. We have no more blue. Means we can't heal. Oh, actually, I'm lying. We have blue. Oh, shit. Hi. We don't have blue. Okay, wait. I'm actually lying. Oh, my God. Wait. Hold on. Relax. Relax. Give me a second. Me not die here. Whew. We did it. Lord have mercy, we did it. Alright, now taste these cheeks. I genuinely think that without Margaret Shackle, I would have filled that fight 10 times over. It appears Melina was also proud of me as she gave me the royal medallion for my troubles, so thank you. On the way up to the mountaintops, I grabbed a somber 7, which allowed me to get my weapon to +9. Truth be told, I was terrified of what lay ahead. Not only was the fire giant 6 feet tall in comparison to me at a measly 5'11", but he also had an extremely high resistance to fire, which of course was the damage type that I did. This only meant one thing: I would be in for an excruciating experience. And an excruciating experience it was. Not only was I doing essentially negative damage, but the fire giant is an extremely tanky boss. This required a very specific playstyle that I like to call the ankle biter. Essentially, I spent his entire first phase attacking a very specific part of his leg, the weak spot. Now, this weak spot is the only place where he can actually be damaged, and to be honest, is the only reason the fire giant is even possible. Once I reached his second phase, the weak spot shifts from his leg to his arms, making it even more imperative that I would have to be extremely careful. Sticking to his arms and only attacking when I could was my best course to success in this battle. Yeah, Taker's Flame, I mean, I knew it was going to be kind of bad against this guy, but it kind of still sucks. Obviously, this thing does literally have fire damage. Yeah. You know, honestly, yellow damage on that is pretty good. Oh, no, nothing? Oh, hello. That's fire. Alright, so this move right here, the ender of many, many runs. It is very dangerous to get hit by that. Can I get the head? Can I get the head? Oh, okay. Good headshot. Good headshot. One more? One more? Oh, no stagger. I'm a bit perplexed by the amount of the lack of staggers here in second phase. They tend to be much harder to get in this phase anyways. I'm not too worried about it, as he is almost dead. But we've all seen Fire Giant. He is not afraid to tussle, that's for sure. Oh, one more. Oh, okay. Come on. Okay, he literally one more. There we go. Cool. That is the Fire Giant. And hitless, by the way. Unfortunately, instead of being rewarded for coming out alive after a near-death experience, I instead watched as Melina burned herself so that I could be transported into your average London suburb. Clearly, they weren't friendly with new visitors because almost immediately I got jumped by 2 roadmen looking to turn me into a pincushion. Using my trusty pots of St. Trina bathwater, I knocked them out cold so that I could have my way with them. Wait, no, not like that. Alright, low-key, I think we just do charge attacks here, I'm not gonna lie. We have the charge attack thingy. We don't actually need to do this. We can't do this though, right? Do I have time? I do. Smack him right in his gut. Look at that big man. Big dog. Alright, who's gonna be the first one to spawn in? Skinny or Fatty? Fatty! Easy! Have a pot on me. Sleepy time! 1, 2, tree? Oh my god, I actually can't grab it. Oh, you're so cringe, dude. I might actually just be able to kill him though. Oh, that's unlucky. Oh, wait. Oh, fuck. He actually just like almost full. Okay, we're fine. Dude, I actually messed up so bad there. Just die. I didn't grab the riposte because I got stuck on this thing right here. It actually almost screwed us. At this point in the game, it was almost a requirement to complete the bird skip given just how treacherous the normal run through Farum Azula really was. We weren't out of the woods just yet, as it was Maliketh who was harboring the Rune of Death, and with it, my progression. Thankfully, my hundreds of thousands of hours in Elden Ring taught me the best tricks to help alleviate some of the stress I would experience fighting him. I mean, dude, only 1,000 damage? Like, that is pretty shit, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it should be doing way more. And look, dude, I just miss? Like, that's crazy. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Damn, only like 800 damage, bro. I mean, it's not very good for a friggin' remembrance weapon. I'll be honest with you. I feel like I'm a bit scammed. I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting way more. At +9, like, come on. See, there is, I didn't get the stagger there. That's not good. That is not good at all. Do I get it there? Oh my gosh, I do. By the skin of my teeth. Holy. What a clutch stagger. Woo! That could have been really bad, I'm not gonna lie. Finally entering the Ashen capital, I was met by Gideon, who could pose a serious threat if not handled correctly. To be honest, things got a bit too close for comfort, and given just how devastating some of his incantations really were, I got pretty lucky for the most part. You know, one thing that is true about Godfrey though. With Godfrey next, this was the most confident I felt going into a boss. Thankfully, I have studied every single inch of Godfrey.
What do you mean by that?
In my studies, I learned the proper way to fight him, as though he can basically kill me with any swing of his axe. This meant I would have to be very careful of the move selection, with the goal of getting him to swing his axe at the ground and then spin in a circle. Now this does allow me to keep pressure and even feel like I'm winning, but at any given moment things could go extremely wrong. To be honest, the damage of the Blasphemous Blade was something I personally found appalling, and further reason why I find this to be one of the most underwhelming weapons in the game. All things considered, all I had to do was lock in a bit for his harder second phase, where all my training almost goes out the window, and just hope he doesn't decide to power drive me into the ground as though I am a football.
Into the perfect phase transition. Sprint!
I almost died there because I literally couldn't sprint. Dude, my controller's pissing me off. Ow. Aw, rip the hitless. Oh god, he's screaming. Run! See? Now I'm sprinting. That works. But when I'm not sprinting, it gets a little scary. For the one time? Yeah! Let's go! Taker's Flame, my beloved. Making my way up to the final boss door, the base game was nearly complete. All I had to do was lock in for a few minutes and things would be okay. It was at this point where I learned just how truly weak the Blasphemous Blade really was. Radahn is weak to fire, so for once I actually felt very strong with this weapon, and it didn't take me too long to reach phase 2, where Elden Beast truly posed the challenge. Not only was he in water, but also he was resistant to every non-physical type of damage, meaning I was doing far less than normal. This of course proves why the Blasphemous Blade was just so weak. That being said, no run is without challenge, and it was time for me to put on my game face if I wanted to actually beat the base game. Alright, can we not with the explosions? Like, actually? Can we relax on that shit, dog? Lord have mercy. This fight has been an experience, to say the least. This one has been testing me. I didn't have any stamina. Am I sprinting? I am sprinting. Okay, we're good. Oh, wow. Another explosion. Oh no, there's more stars. Well, I ripped my stagger. I think I was actually one heavy off of the stagger, and now I will not be getting said stagger. It's fine. It's not like I really need it. I just am greedy and wanted it. One more hit. Get him in the toe. Yes. Hit him as he's running away. Boom. Let's go. Let's flip and go. Oh, dude. Oh, wow. I cannot believe we were able to do that. With the base game finished, it was now time to head into the DLC. Speaking with Vari to begin his quest for the medallion, I was asked to acquire the blood of a maiden. Now, why you ask, I also don't know. Perhaps he's just a misogynist. Obliging to his request, I acquired the blood in the most disrespectful way possible before returning back to him. After he tugs on my finger, he then gives the medal. Thanks, I guess. With that, I had access to Mohg's palace, but first I wanted to get the purifying tear in Altus so as to help a little bit against Mohg's nihil. Okay, bye. With that, I used the medallion to enter the palace and made my way up to fight Mohg. Here is where things were make or break. Given Mohg is an endgame boss and has a ton of resistance to fire damage, once again my weapon's performance could honestly be compared to the way my parents view me. Disappointing. With the damage looking like my bi-weekly paycheck from McDonald's, 3 figures, it was imperative I was on top of my game, which I was not. Taking many avoidable hits, it was clear I was low-key getting shit on. To be honest, this is totally and completely the sword's fault and not my own. I personally would never die to a boss like Mohg. Heavy? Okay, I think I can heavy here, right? Yeah. Wait, that doesn't hit him? That's cringe. I was hoping it did. Like, hit him out of the air. Epic gamer moment, dare I say. That is definitely not a window for a heavy attack. I greeted that very heavily. But it did work out, so can't really complain too much. Heavy, I think. Barely. Not gonna lie. Alright. Do I have time for this or am I greeting? Oh my god, I dodged it because I was underneath him. Holy shit. Also, that did literally 200 damage. Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. Alright, well, I trolled heavily there. That's very unfortunate. I probably could have gotten a stagger if I, Well, we got it anyways. And I think... Alright, heckin' G's, boss man. With Mohg dead, I realized I actually completely forgot to fight Radahn and would have to go kill him for access into the DLC. Taking the warp outside of Redmane, I was coming back to this place pretty overleveled and with a maxed out weapon. That, of course, did not bode well for Radahn. It also helps that he has scripted moves at specific HP thresholds, and thus I killed him before he could really do anything at all. I believe it was 5 total hits and he was dead. No, he crushed me! Oh wait, I'm stupid. I thought he was leaving. Alright, anyways, he's dead. Well, so that's Radahn. Anyways, I now had access to the DLC and with it a whole new region to explore. If exploring meant running around and picking up whatever free skedaddle fragments I could find before fighting R'hllana. With my journey complete, I was able to get to Skadoosh level 5 before heading deeper into Castle Venus on the way to R'hllana's chamber. This fight was actually really fun. Despite my many skill issues with R'hllana, making her one of my most difficult bosses in the game, I appreciate and love this fight dearly. I did find that just running it down and heavy attacking at almost every opening meant I would stagger her very quickly. The damage was beautiful to the point where she entered phase 2 with just about a third of her health bar. Dare I say it, but maybe the Blasphemous Blade is actually not that bad. As we continued in our dance of blades, she pulled out her large twin moons where I got caught in the stunning beauty of them.
Ooh, that brother's floating in the air.
Dude, why did my character not jump? What? Hold on. Oh, okay. Well, I'm throwing. Shit! I tried to cancel it. There we go. I tried canceling the transition like I did the last time, but it didn't work out, and I had to actually run away. But there we go. All right. You know, a little sloppy. She still hurts like hell. Beyond Castle Ensis, Shadow Altis opened up the map into multiple paths of progression I could take. Collecting more Skabooble fragments in the area, I headed into Shadow Keep as I wanted to fight the hippo for his fragments. To this day, I still find this fight to be more annoying than anything. Maybe it's just me, but I do find that it can be a bit difficult to always avoid his bites. Thankfully, the first phase of hippo is very straightforward and barely poses any challenge, but it isn't until the second phase where shit gets serious. I'm sure there's a pattern to the needles, but I still don't think I have found them. Even if you run straight ahead or dodge, there is a high chance they still just hit you anyways. It feels like RNG, and that's a big part of why I simply just find this fight to be annoying. Instead of heading into the rest of Shadow Keep, I instead entered through the church district because, to be honest, I would desperately need to get all the fragments I could find. Before progressing further, I returned to Shadow Altis and into the Rao base so I could get the two-handed sword talisman and two-headed turtle talisman. These would assist greatly in making the Blasphemous Blade even just a bit better than whatever I had going now. Once I was back in Shadow Keep, I made my way to the backyard where Commander Piggy was waiting for me. Characters. Alright, Gaius. How much damage are you looking at here? Sheesh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can I get a heavy here? I don't think I can, right? No. But it almost worked out in my favor. I don't know why I did that. I know that I can't do that, and I still went for it anyways. I think I can get a heavy here, right? Does he transition here? He does. Oh, I missed. Yeah! Another one. Going for the second heavy because I'm greedy. Oh yeah, I'm such a greedy little pig. Oink oink.
What?
Alright, Taker's Flame for finish. Kaboom! Alright. God damn. Bro got put on a t-shirt, dude. With 5 more fragments, I was able to reach Blessing 12 before heading up towards Messmer in his brooding chamber. Back in the Graveside Plains, I grabbed the Talisman of the Dread that boosted the potency of Magma by 15%, which did include Taker's Flame. Of course, I don't really know how much it would assist me against Messmer, but anything would be better than nothing. As expected, my damage about mirrored that feeling of waking up after a long night of drinking and eating gas station roller dogs. Proceeding to be absolutely manhandled by Messmer in ways I didn't even know were possible, things were not looking up, and it felt like maybe I wasn't cut out to complete a challenge so difficult. I, however, was no quitter. I would either win or die trying. I guess this outcome was to be expected, going up against the boss whose entire personality revolves around snakes and fire. Where have I heard that before? Oh, I got the double hit and I dodged his move. Oh my god, I'm actually the gamer of all time. Jesus. And another heavy attack. Kabooey! I couldn't tell where the snake was coming from, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I rolled way too early there. I have to heal. Unlucky. Oh my god, you're so cringe. Rip my heal. Also rip the stagger that I definitely had on the way. Can I do this here for the heal? Yo, wait, okay, why does this do so much damage? Like, dude, he's resistant to fire and he's just gonna die for it. Like, holy shit. That's insane. Oh my god. With Messmer dead, I once again forgot about Hornsent. One day, I will learn to actually remember to do the quest instead of having to fight 3 NPCs in the gang fight. That day is not today. Entering Rao Ruins, we were nearly finished with the run and only had a handful of fights between us and victory. Alright, time for Romana. This is gonna be absolutely sauced, dude. Just get a load of the sheer amount of damage we're about to be doing to this boss. Kablooey, baby. Kaboom. Kablow. None of that. I'm gonna get hit by that. I didn't get hit by that. I'm impressed. Stay down. You know, I probably shouldn't grab this because she's gonna transition soon. Yeah, alright, she's in range to transition, so we're gonna back up here. I'm still gonna hit by this, aren't I? Yeah, I am. Shit. Are we okay, we're good here. That's fine. Oh, she hit herself. Nice. We love that. Oh, perfect. Okay. Can I do this here? Does this do a decent amount of damage at least? Oh, it does plenty of damage. Holy. Boom, another one. You know, she's nearly staggered. Okay, well, not anymore. That dream is gone. I can drink a blue here though, just to get more mana, so I can do another one of these. Kabooey! Oh yeah. Hold on. Oh god. Okay, it's coming down to the wire, baby.
One more hit. Yeah, baby. All right, there we go. Whew.
Burning yet another tree. Seriously, this game has a thing against trees. I was then transported into Enter Elam. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but the run up to Leda was genuinely one of the worst experiences I have ever been in. This felt like removing my fingernails with a butter knife. I would rather use sandpaper to scratch my ass than ever deal with this shit again. The worst part, it didn't even get better, because making it past hell, I was then stopped by Big Net and her soldiers, which of course is never fun. Thankfully, Nathan was a homie and was putting in some work. The Ash of War was helping greatly in keeping me alive, but I had to make sure I could actually hit them, or else I would be throwing away any mana I had, which of course is never good. Eventually, the second coming of Mustache Man was dead, and with it, all that remained was the final boss.
Oh, okay. I didn't dodge. Oopsies. You know, I should probably do that. That is a important part of the kit in the game, is the ability to dodge. Maybe I can do a heavy here as well. Oh, you know, I was really hoping it would stagger, but fine. Does that stagger? Does this stagger? No? Dude. I mean, I know he has a lot of poise, but oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, I was gonna say, like... Oh my god. I wholeheartedly thought he was leaving. Okay, there we go. Now he goes. Alright, run to the corner. Actually? I might be dead here. I'm still alive. I fucking love that move. I love that move. I love that move so much. It's so fun. It's so awesome getting staggered and dying. Okay, maybe this wasn't that good. Okay, we're fine. Dude, every grab is just that much scarier now. Oh my god, I'm dead again. I'm fucking dead again. Oh my god! Yeah. You're joking me, right? So you're just cringe. You're like actually just a fucking loser. Dude. What do you mean he does that at point blank? Like, what do you mean? It's fine. At least we managed to get here with relative ease. Now let me just not die to this thing, and I'm gonna die to it. I'm not dead to it yet. Hold on. Honestly, you can't be too sure with this fight, man. Like, some moves that you think can dodge, just nope, you just can't. That one I definitely could have, but that's fine. For the one time, kablooey! Boom. Alright, there we go. Well, at least we used the Blasphemous Blade to actually beat the game. I didn't think it was possible, I'll be honest with you.
What a run. This might be up there as an all-time most difficult challenge I have ever attempted. Obviously, I'm mostly joking, and the Blasphemous Blade is probably one of the best weapons in the game, but I figured this would be a fun little April Fool's joke, and I hope you guys did enjoy. If you made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you like this video, consider checking out one of the vids popping up on screen now. With that, have a great day, and catch you later.